Hey guys, welcome to That's So Underrated with Covet the Ranting Raven. This is where I basically go over games that I've played in the past, and games that I feel that didn't get as much credit as they deserve. And today's topic is going to be about one of my favorite fighting games of all time, known as Rival Schools. Rival Schools is a fighting game made by Capcom in 1997 for the arcade systems. 1 year later it was ported over to the PlayStation, and later being added onto the Japanese PlayStation Network in 2012. Not sure if it's still currently there though. Having a sequel, Project Justice, in 2000 for the Dreamcast, it would later then get a comic book series which was first published in 2006. So it did have fans, but it wasn't as successful as Street Fighter. Now, there's a reason why I love this fighting game the most. Not because it was the first fighting game that I ever played, but I love how well it was done. Along with his fast-paced fighting for a 3D fighting game and flashy, cool, and funny double-team moves, I love the characters of this game completely. Out of all the fighting games I played in my life, including ones of recent time, Rival School characters are the only ones that I seem to connect with the most. And I've also played games like Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, and Naruto games constantly, but Rival Schools always manages to call me back. Characters like Batsu, Kyosuke, I think his name is pronounced Hyo or Hayo, I can't really remember, it's been forever, but like him, who had the sword and he had the badass hair and all that, also had a demon form in Project Justice. Characters like Shoma and Akira, who also happens to be my favorite character in that game. Characters like that stood out to me the most because they didn't seem like those typical fighters that wore training gi all the time and did all this training and stuff like that. It wasn't about saving the world or anything like that, which was, pretty cool to me. These students also had a lot of personal hobbies and interesting things that I found out about later, which also, kind of extended my interest on this game. This game even had a story mode, to which it was surprising because a lot of games were strictly arcade around this time. Several students fall victim to the mysterious attacks and kidnappings along with some staff members, and the key was to find out what was going on and bring everything back to normal. Now, for every character you pick, it shows a different side of what's going on, which I thought was beautiful since we had 22 characters on the roster for Disc 1. And in this game, the story goes chapter by chapter. It doesn't have flashy cutscenes like you'll see in some games today, but it does have voiceovers and the character portraits to go along with it. Another good thing about the game was the soundtrack. My goodness, it was the most beautiful things about this game. It kept the game running on perfectly and made the matches intense, and it was so enjoyable. Even the background, the battle backgrounds were beautiful too. Fighting in classrooms, fighting in the drive-through theaters, it was just awesome. Fighting near schools, so on and so forth. And there wasn't one song in this game that I did not like. And I could remember songs from a lot of fighting games, but this one was indeed memorable. And another cool thing was this too. It offered quite a bit of mini games to a lot of people. For example, you can hit home runs with Shoma, which was pretty cool. You could try to score points by hitting the soccer/football into the little point boxes with Roberto. Natsu also had her little own volleyball minigame too. And you can also unlock some more students to the roster on this too. You can unlock photo galleries in extra mode. You can have things like tournaments and co-op mode against your friends, and I think this game really gave a lot, for being, one of those games at that time that was going towards something new. So it was really awesome. And people will call this game a 3D Marvel vs. Capcom, and I can see why, but I think it's a lot better. It's a lot more balanced, and you can pull off a nice amount of combos, hit your opponent into the air, do your specials, which I believe is called Burning Vigor attacks. I'm not sure if it's Vigor, but I believe there was a different way of pronouncing that, but it's been a long time. But you can do that, whether it's in the air or whether it's in the ground. It was really unique, and other characters had their own, different types of specials. Shoma being a baseball player, obviously he will throw a bunch of balls at you, or he'll smack you so hard you fly to the other side of the screen, like that awesome home run hitting. Batsu had a energy blast attack that was somewhat like the Hadouken, but it was called Guts Bullet. Natsu and Roberto used their volleyballs and their footballs to their advantage. Edge had his knives, and Hayato had his kendo stick, which I think he's one of the most coolest characters in that game. He always cracked me up, especially when he would just smack the opponent with the kendo stick and make them do push-ups, and then just like treat them like complete crap and just smack them to the floor. It was very, very humorous. Some double team moves are also cool too. Like for example, I think if you pick Batsu as your partner and you do your double team, you both do like a guts bullet attack, and I think that was also pretty boss too. And Project Justice had a lot of funny double team moves too, but since it's not about Project Justice, I'll get into that for another time. To me, this game was more entertaining than Street Fighter, and I do like Street Fighter, a bunch of iconic characters, everybody knows Street Fighter, but you know, the thing about that is playing the game since they were arcade before, you know, it really didn't stand out to me much. And I know every character has his deep story, and I do like it, but I would just like to see more. Something, you know, that would evolve from, you know, the regular arcade thing that they had, or, you know, small little cutscenes, which I've heard that the new Street Fighter game will have a better story mode. I'm not entirely sure, that's just hope. But overall, I think Rival Schools deserves way more credits, especially being a unique game during its time period and still being unique to this very day. It also featured Sakura from Street Fighter, which was pretty badass too. But yeah, this is why I feel that it's, you know, it's very, very underrated. Now I'm wondering if there's any Rival Schools fans left. What would become of this if there would be a possible Rival Schools 3? Because I've heard talks about this. Will it happen? Can it happen? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on That's So Underrated. And also, as mentioned, I'll be doing videos of Rival School characters and their bios and things like that, because I think this topic isn't really talked about as much, and I think Rival Schools is a beautiful, beautiful game. And I would like, you know, more people to get involved into it and try it out. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Take care, everybody. See you next time.